So for me, the big takeaway I got from the conference, from the various conversations, is that energy demand is projected to rise. Now the big question is what mix is needed? And it seems like it's across the board, whether it's natural gas, it's renewables, even nuclear was mentioned. The big question, of course, is how do we transmit that power? How do we get the infrastructure there? How do we make adjustments to permitting? And so the conversations really helped across a wide variety of companies and analysts to kind of understand what are the key challenges and what are the key opportunities and how we face the energy transition going forward.
I think I'd agree. A takeaway for me was that we had folks from each of the different areas of the energy spectrum, from oil and gas to utilities to renewables. Each focused on more is needed of each of those, and good discussions about how AI or just efficiency in general could help that, what some of the limits to that are, the broad consensus about the need for faster permitting. So it's good to see some consensus, I think, across the spectrum about what's needed, some differences in how much of each may be needed. But good engagement from the crowd, good engagement amongst the speakers, and that's always good to see. Well, in the closing executive panel, we had a couple folks talk about their outlook for oil in the year ahead and in the years ahead. And I think in general, expecting a range of $60 to $80 next year. A little bit of variation in how strong beyond that. Some expecting kind of that for a good while, others expecting more than that as supply becomes perhaps more difficult to attain in the future. So that was interesting. And again, obviously forecasts for rising power demand in particular, and especially from the industrial sector, and how to go about the different ways to meet that demand.
For me, what was interesting about the outlook is, of course, the demand picture. For oil, it seems like there's somewhat of a consensus. If you go out to 2050, demand might be flat or it might be slightly down, so oil will still be here. For natural gas, the general consensus is that demand is going to increase. And of course, for electric power, that was a big thing that was discussed. We're moving from an area of flat demand to increasing demand. It's kind of unclear where we will be. And a lot of discussions help to kind of get a better idea on a feel of what are the key drivers of that demand, whether it's data centers, whether it's onshoring of manufacturing, whether it's electrification, so on and so forth.